welcome to Let Jaime Talk. I am Jamie in the studio, and guess what? We're mixing it up today. Instead of having Ben on the important computer, the one that's doing the recording, we got Brett. What's up, Brett?
What's up, guys? No Ben today, unfortunately.
Well, you know, he has some real work to do down at the bakery.
He did.
You know, he's probably got his apron on. He's got flour probably stuck all over his face.
I don't know that he has all that, but
probably
he could.
Spinning some pizza dough. I don't know. What do you guys make?
I mean, they could make little pizzas, but they don't.
All right. Well, okay then. I know that's not what he's doing, but he is running his business, and that's good.
Absolutely. And now I've got the hot seat, I think, because I've already made a mistake and flipped back and forth and made cameras do something.
No, you're good. I know you're used to being over there, you know, yep. and you did get upgraded and get your camera now, but now you're on.
Yep, front and center.
So no taking naps, like pay attention.
Oh,
you know,
I can't sit here and look at Facebook Marketplace the whole time.
You could. I can't see your computer screen, and you can't see mine. Actually, this is yours too.
Yeah, they're both mine.
So, what we're going to do today is have some fun reviewing some of the comments from one of our most recent Perkins Builder Brother videos, specifically episode number 104, which every episode coming out on this build series on the Mega House is a record-breaking number of videos for us in a video series because it's taking so long and it's requiring so much work. But hey, it is allowing us to make lots of videos. So there you go. You know,
which stimulate lots of questions.
It does. And it actually gets more difficult the longer this job goes because the tasks take a long time to get through. For example, the drywall. Mm-hmm. You know, not that we're doing a lot of content on drywall. It's taking a long time. Months.
Yeah, Rex and Lex they've put on some miles on their truck getting up and down that job.
I mean, the decking, we've started now. We're a good week or two into decking, but now we've got to hit pause on decking, and we've got to wait for all the columns. We have these giant columns to get wrapped in stucco. There's a very special stucco application that's going to happen on that, and I can't even really explain it to you yet until I see the guy do it, and then we'll talk about that because it's kind of something I'm anticipating.
How far out are we on that?
Well, he's going to be there in June, and it's September now. No, it's October.
Oh, wait. He was going to be there in June, like 4 months ago?
Yeah, that June. Yep.
Yeah, because for a second there, I actually thought June of 26, like it was normal. Sorry.
In building, and you know this, you have an order of events. They sort of almost self-dictate. I say that a house builds itself, sort of. Like if you don't know what to do, you have to almost just do the thing that's next. Now, you might not know what that thing is, but if you think about each thing and how they interact and what is dependent on what other thing, you almost get stuck doing it in order. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't be like...
You can't build something without something else already being done.
That's right. With that said, some of the comments we're gonna have fun talking about is related to getting out of order because we are doing things backwards, and there's good reasons why.
Yeah,
I mean, there's reasons why.
Yeah. So I did notice something though. That you drove blue here today.
I did, and if nobody knows, blue is my Dodge Ram. It's my work truck now. It's a beautiful thing to see it out in the parking lot because parked in the grass is what the parking lot is. I have had my truck in the shop for about 6 months now to the tune of about $10,000.
Yeah. So just so everybody knows, Jamie and I were talking about cars earlier, which is no surprise to anybody that knows us. And I mentioned something about a certain BMW or whatever, you know, you could probably get one for like 10 grand. And I think Jamie threw up in his mouth. He's like, okay, I think I've spent that on blue. Okay.
The thought that I could have got a really fun car for 10 grand, but I spent that on ball joints and steering bushings and crossbars and track bars and transmission cables, parking brake shoes.
Did you say key? Didn't you get a new key?
Well, I have a problem. And hey, listen, we read the comments. So if anybody knows what could cause this, help me out. Okay. I have an issue with my Ram. And what it is that after I turn the key off and I pull the key out, I set it down. If I had the fan on inside for air conditioning, the fan will come back on by itself. And if I had it on low, it's not very loud.
It doesn't just stay on. It like has a mind of its own. It'll come back on.
That's right. It will turn off when you turn the vehicle off. Take the key out. It will come back on. Now, it doesn't always come back on. And that's a problem because it's intermittent. So intermittent problems are, harder to troubleshoot. So what'll happen though is it'll come on sometime in the middle of the night. It'll run all night until the battery dies and you get out there to go to work and click, click, nothing. And dude, my truck is hard to jumpstart because it's 2 batteries, because it's diesel and, the little jump boxes. Maybe I just don't have a good one because people show, in the advertisements, they hook it up to a big diesel truck and it fires right up. Okay.
I'm sure there's one that's big enough.
Well, I don't have one. My wife has one for her car and it works great.
It's a small little jump box.
Yeah. I need a jump box that is like work truck, size. I don't know. I don't know anything about them, but that should be on my list of things to buy.
Well, throw in another $500 to your
exactly
problem.
Dude, it does make me sick to spend money on my truck to that tune of that amount, but some of the stuff is overdue, the fixes, and I'm going to hope to get another 10 years out of this truck. That's a long time.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure what the average keep time on a truck is, but I've had it 17 years so far, and that's hopefully getting me set for another 10.
That'd be amazing.
Okay, enough about the truck. Actually, I lied. 2 more things.
Okay.
One is that talking about trucks and problems. So I actually didn't follow the last bit of my thing. If you know what could have caused my fan to come back on by itself, please leave a comment if you're a mechanic and you have heard of this problem, because I need to fix it. Okay, there's that. And then also, I used to listen to a show, I think it was literally on the radio, called Click and Clack. Click and Clack.
Okay.
Now, I don't think it's not on now.
But it was just the radio.
It was 2 brothers. And I think sadly one has passed away, and I think they're older guys now. I never saw them in person or never even saw what they looked like. I wouldn't know if I saw them, but they had the funniest radio show about fixing cars where people would call in and they would describe to them a problem with the car. And usually it was like, there's this weird thing happening. I've had it to 10 mechanics and nobody can figure it out. Now I'm calling you. And besides being super smart about mechanics, these guys were hilarious. I almost want to leave right now. We're going to have to shut it down so I can go put on Click and Clack and have a good time. So if Click and Clack was available right now, I would call in and be a caller.
Oh, that actually would be really cool.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Tom did pass away in 2014.
Was Tom? Okay. And I didn't even know their names. They were just Click and Clack to me. But anyway, super great guys, super funny. If you get bored and want to listen to some hilarious guys, they're like comedians. Even if you don't know or care anything about cars, it's still highly entertaining.
Yeah, I think it's called Car Talk now.
Okay.
Maybe. Hold on. I'm trying to research this. I'm trying to do my little Brett in the background job while sitting at the table. It's not as easy.
Yeah, Brett's the guy that finds the answers to the questions that we can't figure out.
It was on NPR. I'm sure it's still out there, or at least the old episodes are.
Maybe I can buy a CD set.
Yeah, they had Car
episodes.
Talk was on NPR. Yeah, it's called Car Talk.
Okay.
NPR with 660 stations.
Nice. Okay.
Never heard of it.
All right. Well, there's that. That's okay. You will
I don't
now.
listen to the radio.
I used to,
and I probably haven't listened to the radio in 20-something years.
You should. Yeah, in addition to that, I'm thinking about putting my rack on my truck this afternoon when we get out of here.
Do we need a drum roll?
I bought a rack. I bought a ladder rack for my work truck. It's a big deal for me. I know you're probably thinking, why are we even listening to this? But for me, it's a big deal. I bought a rack that is the same rack.
What's the name of it?
I bought it from Northern Tool. And if you go to ladder rack in Northern Tool, it's the one that's $7.99 and it's a 13.5 foot ladder rack, 1,000 pounds rated. So what's funny about this, in case anybody cares, or you're like me, you're struggling thinking of what rack you're going to buy, and you don't want to spend tons of money. So about 20 years ago, when I had my first work truck, I bought a ladder rack. I bought this exact same one from Northern Tool. They must have made millions of these things, and it lasted for 20 years, although I did have to weld it a few times in different places to kind of stiffen it up. That's it right there in the center.
All right, give me. They're not seeing this yet.
Okay,
Jamie.
so Brett's pulling it up. we're not sponsored by Northern Tool or anything. We get no benefit out of showing you this rack, but other than trying to help you out if you're looking for one. And I'm going to tell you why I liked it. Okay, that's live now. Screen.
Well, at least I think I do.
Well,
I can see it.
You see it?
You guys, we're going to make fun of ourselves today. So Ben has a harder job than a lot of people will give him credit for.
There we go.
Because he is definitely the man that makes all this stuff happen.
Okay, well,
I was in here early with me, making sure it all did happen. So we got it on the screen.
You're doing a great job.
Thanks.
You're doing a job. That's what I say. All right, there it is. That rack is in a box at my house, and I'm going to put it on the truck. I like it because it's pretty tough. It's steel, and it has a lot of places to hook straps. That's one of the best things about it. Is there's almost anywhere you look somewhere you can hook a strap to, because I strap all kinds of wacky stuff every day on the rack. So there we go. Maybe I'll get time.
And not to drag it out, but I think it's pretty funny, and I do know this, that you are a creature of habit. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, you've probably looked at 1,000 of these, and you're getting the same one you've had.
When I find something I like.
Yeah. Why don't you just keep the other one?
I'm stupid. I should have kept it.
I mean, what's his name at the bought your truck? Because the rack is still in existence, and it's not on the truck anymore.
That's right. Well, my buddy Aaron,
that's right.
Okay, my old rack is still somewhere. And I should have just kept it. But I felt like, this is a transition time for me going to a different truck.
Fair enough.
I've had that same old rack that I've fixed. And I just felt like this was a good time to get a new one, you know. And I was ready to kiss that truck goodbye, so I just sent it. Rack included. And the first thing he did was take it off.
All right. And the first thing you talked about when we started opening the box of this thing is how you're going to modify it. So I can't wait to see it.
I probably will. I got a few things in mind.
All right. We'll try to get some video of you talking about it. At least, the pros and cons and why you loved it for so long and that kind of stuff. So
yeah, for sure. Okay. So let's get on to the episode and some comments here. And I did what I normally do, and I'm going to tell people what I do is I watch the video on my phone, and I scroll through the comments, and I take a little snapshot of the comments that I think are going to be fun to talk about. And so I have a list of them here, and maybe you did the same thing. Is that right? You got some comments?
I have some either follow-ups or some fill-ins, something.
Okay.
We'll see where I flow in. But.
So in this video, we're basically doing some finish work in the modern mega build here. And we're working on some trim and talking about all the things happening. And one of the first things, the opening shot of this video, Max shows up in some big crazy truck that is not his truck. And he got a flat tire on his truck leaving the job site about a month ago. And then he shows up with one truck 1 week, and then he shows up with a different truck the next week. Yep. And
that's the truck right there.
I think it took him about a month to get his new set of tires.
A month?
About a month. Yeah.
Why does it take a month to get tires?
I don't know. That's a good question. But I can relate because I've been driving other people's trucks for about a month too, because mine's been in the shop so much. So, okay, here's the first comment from Mike Babs 3408. After years of watching your channel, my wife and I are breaking ground on an owner build DIY home. How about that? Congratulations. Thank you, Perkins Builder Brothers, for inspiring us and giving us the confidence we are only subbing out the drywall. So wow. That's a pretty cool comment, because I feel like the channel is giving people the confidence to say, hey, I think I could build that. Mm-hmm. They're like, if these knuckleheads can build a house, I think I can build a house too. But so many times when I meet people in public, they say, I say, all right, hey, what's your name? Where are you from? What do you do for a living, or things like that. But a lot of people, no matter what they do for a living, have said, hey man, your videos have really helped out. And I'm able to build my own thing. So I think that's really cool.
Absolutely.
I think that is cool. I love that. I love to hear people being able to learn the stuff that they want to learn to build their own stuff, whether it's for saving money or just to say that they did, or to have it built the way that they want it built.
Yeah, the full length videos, if you want to build your whole house, I mean, it literally is a step-by-step. This is going to be, a 6-hour multi-series documentary, but they do help a lot.
Yeah. So we pretty much go through the whole absolute building process. Yep. From raw land to completed home. And that's basically our jam now. That's what we do from start to finish on every build practically. I will say our style of what we're doing in the videos, we're showing people what we do, not necessarily how to do it. We do say, but we don't say this is how you should do it, because there's a million ways to do almost everything. And, we stay away from saying things like this is the best way to do it, or this is, you could say it's a really good way to do it.
It's not the only.
It's not the only way to do it. So we say this is how we're doing it today. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of hard to argue with.
Yeah. And a lot of the comments are, you knuckleheads, why are you doing it that way? Or
I know.
That's going to leak. But
we do get beat over the head a lot. But our audience is global, and that's great because we get input from all over the world and all kinds of countries that build things differently. So I think it's cool. I think it's really awesome, actually. Even the comments that are not super nice or maybe whatever, I still, or whatever, I think it's okay. Okay, next comment here by Deluxe Solutions and something the home. That's a long name. Okay, Jono, your attention to detail is phenomenal. Those other Yahoos don't compare. So I don't know who the other Yahoos are. I'm sure they're not people on my crew. But I appreciate you pointing out that Jono has a great attention to detail, and he does. It is, I'm going to say, his strength and also his worst enemy. You know why? You know why? Because, well, it can't be perfect for the most part. A house, it can be really good, but not necessarily perfect. And so it's hard to let some stuff go when your mind and when what you see and your personal standards for what you want it to be is perfection. Okay. Oh man, it's hard. It's really hard. Like if you're going to paint a car, achieving perfection even in that is depends on the eye that's looking at it. But to say a whole house in every part of it, wow. Yeah. I mean, okay. So Jono does have a great attention to detail. And part of that, the reason is, and we like to share some backstory on our guys and all that, but he did a lot of work on yachts. And you want to talk about probably having a high standard. Mm-hmm. He did painting, fiberglass, building and modifying, metalwork, you name it. Mm. So in that setting, I can see where near absolute perfection is.
Yeah, but you can have both. I mean, when you're building a house, you've talked about that before. There's certain things that you just get done. Certain things you just get done. And then there's certain things that you've got to pay a lot of attention to. Mm-hmm. So, no, it's good to have Jono on the team for sure.
I love having Jono. He's a great guy.
He's the one that makes all your mistakes look better than they actually.
I know. Even I get in a rush sometimes, and Jono's like, "You're not going to leave it like that, are you?" I'm like, "Oh, okay, no, let's fix it. Let's fix it."
That's good. Eric would say, "We're done."
I don't see any problem here. Okay. Also, we're having some paint work done in the house, and I've never hired a painter before. This is kind of a big deal for us. We've been building for 25 years. I have done all the painting on all the houses, inside and out, all the finishing and all the trim, all the woodwork for 25 years. And on this one, we said, let's sub it out. I pulled out my contractor card, bam, slapped it on the table. I don't have a contractor card, but in my mind, I did that. Okay, here's a comment here. I've been a painter for 8 years. Fly me out, and I'll paint your doors and trim, as well as help with the prep and maybe show y'all how I cut in walls and spray it. So here's an offer from this is the name is A7X204. That's who said that. But man, he's offering to come out and paint for us for free.
I was gonna say he didn't even say get paid. He just said fly me out.
No, that means pay for his plane ticket, and then he's here to paint.
Right. Give him room and board.
I know. I've already heard a painter, but that's a very kind offer. And I heard somebody say the other day, it's hard to beat someone at their trade. And that's true. I mean, we do lots of different things, and we like doing lots of different things. It keeps us from getting bored, Mm-hmm. But it's hard to beat someone at their trade if that's what they do every day.
Yeah.
I
agree.
So there you go. All right.
That's why doctors are doctors.
I'd say.
Specialist. You're all specialist.
Okay, I'm not going to try to get too deep in the weeds about the pronunciation of the word Maypie, but there's so many comments about the name Maypie. How do you say it?
I would say Maypie.
Okay, Maypie is a brand of they make tiling accessories and tile products like cement, mortar for sticking tile. They might even make tile. I'm sure they make lots of things in tile and flooring and bathroom shower stuff. That's a really terrible description, by the way. All right, so here's a comment by Pippogot. The Pippogot. All right, hey, just some little trivia here. Maypie, I'll call it for now, is actually an Italian brand. It stands for, and I'm going to try to read some Italian here, Materiali Cerealari per il edizia e industrialia. Oh God. An apology is not enough, so I'll just say I'm sorry. That's the first time I've read French. Which means, and it says it translates to auxiliary materials for construction and industry. All right, so it is an acronym, okay? And the pronunciation you heard is close to correct. And in Italian, as you should mark the I a little bit more, just to explain myself better, M-A as in M-U must, P-E as in P-E-S-T. This is a really long comment. I couldn't even capture it all on my phone in one shot. So the moral of the story is, though, I think we said it close to right, and it's Italian, and it sounds like the great debate of how to pronounce it is worldwide.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got to.
So we're learning here. I heard it Maypay my whole life, Maypay, but that's not right.
That's not right. That is Western North Carolina
right
way to say it.
Mapay. So I'm going to say Mapay, and I hope that's right, because that's what we're going with from here forward.
Sounds good.
Until we get corrected.
Does your brother agree?
Yeah, I think so. We had a whole thing about us trying to say it correctly, and I think he got told maybe by Maypie directly.
Yeah, I think he watched a video on their website of them doing something and using the word.
So they used it. Okay. All right. That's all I can say about that. What a good time. All right. A lot of the other comments on this video was related to us trying to jump ahead. And we are jumping ahead. And we're doing what I call getting backwards. We're getting out of order. And we're doing it for the sake of progress toward the overall completion time being as short as possible. And we don't always know for sure that the things that we do backwards are going to equal the result that we desire, which is getting done sooner. It is definitely a little bit working against maximum efficiency, but it is getting stuff done. So
yeah. This is in context of that. I'm going to try to cut over here. And this clip of you guys at the drywallers trying to decide whether or not you were going to do the baseboards was hilarious. I think you're asking him, would it be okay if we put in the baseboards before you sand the walls down there? And they were like, nope.
He doesn't answer me, and then he walks off. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's his buddy pulling him out of the room. No more questions. We're done.
Sorry.
They're having a deal.
You're out of order here.
Yeah, they're having to deal with us. All right, so the comment here is by NDB390. I wouldn't be real happy if I was the drywall dude, hanging doors and doing trim work and multiple contractors with tools everywhere. Let him get his job done and then trim the house out and put the flooring in. And while I totally agree with this, it was my decision to press on and go ahead and install the doors. Go ahead and put the trim in. Now, I will say the drywall is mostly done here. And we're almost like at the finishing stages of the drywall. Okay. So they had, their mud joints, they were bedded in with tape and their second coats and all that. And, going to their final skimming. So it was close to being done. But still, definitely a hassle, big hassle. We did try to be nice by not putting trim in the corners where, the width of their trowel wouldn't fit in between the trim and the corner. And to make it even worse, I don't know if it was in this video, but we're trying to get the power on to this house, to get the house acclimated with the AC. And if you don't know, it is pretty important for the space to be conditioned when you're doing the final trim, installing floors. Well, I don't know if it's necessary, but it is nice. It's better for the house.
Yeah,
it is. Because this is an open air house up until now, even in this video. The doors are open all day, no air, no climate control, no humidity control.
Mm-hmm. Everything's gonna shrink.
Yeah, and I don't think that if I pitch the idea of conditioning this place during the whole build process, did you know you can there's companies that will come and set up a air conditioning system for you? Have you heard of this?
No.
Okay, well, like really, I'm going to just say maybe really high-end builders that have clients that have enough money to pay for it, that as soon as the house is dried in with the windows and whatever, to enclose the house, they will bring in a portable heating and air a contractor, I guess. They will drive in like a tractor trailer that has all the heating and cooling stuff, and they'll have big pipes and stuff that go into doors or windows, and boom, they will totally air condition or climate control the whole place from the outside, with a few pipes coming in and out.
Yeah. That seems like unnecessary. We've built homes for 1,000 years without that, and they've all turned out okay.
Well, if it comes to really fine woodworking or really sensitive materials like solid wood flooring, maybe
but you should have AC by then.
Yes and no. Okay. Yes and no. Traditionally, let me say, I'm starting to get a little excited now because we're talking about being done with the house, and that's when I get the most excited, getting done. Traditionally, for the last, I don't know, for my first 15 years of building, we didn't have power on the house, which means we didn't have AC or heat until we're done. Like literally, we are done. We get what's called the CO, which is here in the United States, that's our certificate of occupancy, saying that the building department is satisfied with all aspects of the project, and they submit the paperwork to the power company. It is only upon the building inspector's approval that paper can go to the power company, to where the power company is allowed to give us power. And
permanent power.
Yes, permanent power. I'm sorry, I should have specified. So we do have temporary power on site, but it is not designed or set up to run a
HVAC.
Yeah, it takes a lot of power.
Yeah, understood.
Okay. Now, there may be times when it's very important that it's conditioned, and there may be times it doesn't matter at all. But for the most part, nowadays, our method is this. So that was the old days. You build the whole house, it's done. You get the power turned on, the electrician comes out, flicks on all the breakers, the lights, the heating and air. The heat and air man comes out to do a running, test of the system. We call it firing it up, And then if everything works, then you're done and get out of here. Go build another one. But we've started doing a thing where it's called a temporary CO, which is not really accurate to say that, other than they approve getting the power turned on before the build is done. But they do inspect the electrical system fully, and we want to get the power on sooner than we're done for a lot of reasons. One, we can test out stuff like all the electrical. If you're troubleshooting something like, this circuit's not working, maybe we shot a nail in the wire in the wall somewhere. Yeah. Finding that stuff out sooner, it's way better.
Yeah, not everything's finished.
You might be able to troubleshoot, find something wrong, maybe before it's even completely covered up. Or if you have to take drywall off of a wall because you can't find the problem and you think it's in this wall, man, it's nice to do while you're not totally done. Even stuff as simple as an outlet got covered. So one thing I love about my drywall guys, they do take their time and do a great job. They are less likely to cover an outlet or a light fixture, with drywall. But sometimes they still have, and then we'll go cut it out or find it. There'll be a big bulge in the wall. because the boxes stick out a half an inch normally. What had happened, though, is the insulators covered one. And so the drywall guys didn't see it. And whatever they covered it, didn't notice that it was bulging out in the wall until it was all done. And the electrician comes back and says, hey, there was an outlet here somewhere. And we're like, there's no outlets here. And they're like, yeah, we got to find it.
Yeah.
And so then it's going to be a little bit ugly because they're going to start cutting holes in the wall. And that has happened. Not every house.
Yeah.
But if you think about how many outlets and light fixtures and switches are in a house this size, it would be, I would call it just about miraculous if we didn't cover one.
I mean, on most jobs this size, you have an electrical plan. But you're right. I mean, and think about track homes. That's actually kind of a scary thought. I mean, those guys are blowing and going, and that's how they get paid. I'm not saying anything bad about those guys at all, but
right.
They got 10 houses to do and they got 1 week to drywall them. And then it's a different set of guys that's coming in and doing the mudding or potentially, I wonder how many outlets are buried in the country.
We'll never know.
I don't want to know.
But
I don't want to know.
Somebody's got to do it.
Hopefully at least they're got nuts on them and they're tied off. And
yeah. So I'll finish here with saying that's what we're trying to do now is get the power turned on. It is not on yet. And, we don't have all the light fixtures, so every wire has to have wire nuts on it if it doesn't have its permanent fixture. And all of the outlets are installed. All the switches are installed. And these are still more obstacles in the way for the drywall guys. But we're doing this all in advance in an effort to get the power turned on so that the heating systems can get fired up and begin to condition the space. And also, man, it's really convenient if the outlets work. If you're in there working, dude, we have, I'm going to say, a cluster mess of electrical cables on the job, running through the whole property and the whole house. Oh, dude, it's a mess. It is a mess. We have, they're strung out across the site to our temporary pole. And when it rains and there's big mud puddles, then the GFCIs are tripping on the pole and we're trying to, I think actually it's so bad that, well, plus you got several trades all working together. Everybody needs to charge batteries or run fans or run saws or run air compressors. Even the stone guys, they're running air compressors using roofing nails to shoot the lath on. The drywall guys are running fans everywhere to help air move and get to dry the mud. It's a lot of draw. And then you go start something up, click, and you trip the breaker. Oh, no.
And then Lex is yelling at you from 3 stories down. Yeah.
Or they're down there in the dark because the light that they had just went off and it takes you 20 minutes to figure it out because there's so many cables. I think after this job, I'm going to take all my electrical cables and throw them in the dumpster and just start over. I think I am. I need to find a good sponsor that does electrical cords because, well, you need good ones if you can.
Yeah.
And they're expensive.
Yeah, they're not all created equal.
They're not. And so I don't know. We got to do something. I don't know what the something is, but
yeah. You almost need some really, really, high gauge, and I'm sure I'm not using the right terms, but one that's got a triple on one end, but it can pull a ton of amps so that you can hook a saw and a compressor up to it. Because those are the 2 things that trip it. If you have those 2 things plugged into the same thing and the compressor kicks on in your middle, you're done.
Oh yeah. Table saw is really bad. Like our table saw.
Table saw.
We're ripping trim right now for these decorative beams.
Well, it runs hot.
Dude, it will melt a cable if you're trying to pull too much from a distance on too small of a cable. But like you can tell by the sound of the saw, it's getting about 1/3 of the power it demands. When you fire it up and it just comes up to a slow start. And these saws don't have a slow start.
Right. They got 1 speed.
Zing, they come up and you're like pushing the board through and you can hear it slowing down like very easily. I don't like that.
All right. There we go. New cables.
That's
not a bad thing anyway, just from a safety perspective.
It's not,
Like if you went to a job site and you found a cord that didn't have a nick in it or something, which is totally not okay. It's not a bad thing to, I know that you do this. I know that you check them at the end of every job at the very least, but it's still, they just get old.
They do.
They just get worn out.
And I'm tempted to use stuff longer than I should probably, and to repair things. Like I'll cut the ends off and put a new end.
Yeah.
Right? Because the ground gets broken off or they get bent. But at some point, you got to let it go. We have some shop lights in here, and I don't know if they are in the basement there. I don't know if there's any point in the video where it's shown here, but we bought some pretty cool little LED lights. They hang, and they're kind of circular, and they shine light all the way around. You can hang them anywhere. And they have an extension coming out the little pigtail, so you can link like one light to the next, and it's got its own plug. You could just keep going. And I was talking to another builder the other day, and they have the same kind of lights they use on some commercial jobs around here. And they said they buy new ones every job. The contractor, and they're like $100 each. So we have like 4 of them, and we've used them for years. And they still work really, really well. They're not damaged or anything, but this commercial contractor, and I'm just picturing a commercial building. I don't know how big it could be, but, you might need to buy 20 or more of those as just part of the job cost.
Yeah.
And they use them one time, and then they don't keep because...
they get paint on them. Why?
So anyway, I think some of the carpenters or something, they get to take them if they want them. They're like, they're going in the dump. You want them? Take them. That's a jackpot.
It's just a cost of doing business, I guess, to those guys. And I don't mean that in a bad way again, but it's like, if they're going to be less efficient or they get tangled, it's like trying to reuse Christmas lights.
Oh, dude.
Not going to happen.
Dude. And can you imagine saving 20, 30, 40, 100 of these things and trying to keep them somewhere in a box and pull them out next time? You're right. It's like Christmas lights.
Yeah. And they probably have more than 4 if they're a commercial builder. They probably have 100 on a job site. If they're all over the place.
Yeah, probably. So
that's pretty cool, though. I would like to know more about them.
They are nice. And in another topic, I need to redo all the lighting in my shop. Actually, both my shops. So we're doing some side videos.
In my shop.
In your shop? Okay, whatever. We'll do mine first. If there's any time left, we'll do yours.
Thanks, appreciate it.
There's not going to be any time.
I figured.
Okay, so there's some videos we're making right now that are going to be coming out about building a door, and I'm excited about it. I hope it turns out good and is viewed a lot.
It'll be out before this is out, so that's cool.
It will. Okay. All right, sweet. So there's a video out there.
It's Friday. It'll be out tomorrow. This will be out Tuesday.
I never know when what goes out.
It's all good.
I leave that to the editors.
It's all good.
That's you and Ben.
Appreciate it. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's all good. I forgot what I was saying, but in my shop, we have the wood shop and then the other shop, which is like my construction shop, like storing all my construction tools and things. Dude, the lights in both places are terrible. I've got like fluorescent lights that I took out of a building 20 years ago. They were used and they were throwing them out, and I got them for free. And that's what I'm using now. I need to upgrade. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but as each light goes out one by one, it's getting darker. I need to come up with a solution. So I need to find some good LED lighting. And I'm tired of fluorescent lights and changing bulbs and ballasts.
Yeah. But it matters when you're doing recording. When you're recording stuff like we do all the time in certain spaces, lighting, if you go slow-mo and wavelengths and frequencies, I don't know if I'm talking the right thing.
No, that's right.
But it definitely matters. You can't just throw any light in a shop that you intend to use as any studio space.
No.
It won't work.
It's not great. So, all right, we need to get on with some more comments here, or we're going to run out of time. So, okay, by Bethany G. Waysda, 902. Every time the crew shouts for Max, it sounds like the Grinch calling for his dog. Max!
I love it.
So we yell at Max for fun, even if we don't need something, because he's the new guy on the crew. And if I'm on a ladder or a scaffold and I need something and I don't want to have to get down, of course, then you just yell Max as loud as you can, and he'll come and get you whatever you need.
Yeah.
So that's pretty sweet. Max is doing great, by the way. As far as, learning on the fly,
We need to get him and give us a little jingle for Let Jaime Talk podcast, like a little banjo jingle.
Come up with a little song, a little intro or something for us. That'd be fun. Okay, next comment here by Tom Crosby, 25. Gents, just want to throw out a recommendation based on a product I stumbled on this year. It's Coronado. I don't know if I'm saying that, Coronado trim cabinet and door enamel. I spray it with a low pressure tip in a Graco. That's a spray gun. And it makes the doors feel like they have a hard shell, like an M&M. Ooh. Just thought you might be interested since you're doing all these doors. God bless you, from the Faithful Painter. Okay, the guy called the Faithful Painter. And so I'm going to look this up, Coronado trim and cabinet door enamel. So we're always looking for good products in all, I mean, talk about how many products and how many tools it takes to build a house. I mean, it's ridiculous, you know, and the exposure that we get to certain products, you know, where we live and, you know, what suppliers we have locally, you know, a lot of times we're limited to that, or we just keep our heads down and we're working and we get what's available. So I'm going to check this out because like painting a door or something you're going to touch a lot, you may not want to just use regular paint. It may, you know, like if you're going to paint kitchen cabinets, you're not going to go buy hardware store paint. I mean,
I would, but
I mean, there is special paint for cabinets. I don't know what they're called, cabinet paint, but I'm going to look this one up. I'm going to look this one up. Okay, here we go. Thanks for the tip there. All right, this one's by Jack Benjamin. Thank you for having an easy name to read. Never miss a video. It seems like most of your subs, electricians, drywallers, HVAC have a pretty heavy Southern accent, but no one on the Perkins crew does. What's up with that? That's a hard one to answer, but I don't think really anybody on my crew is from here. Maybe Max. I mean, I'm from here. Like I was born here and I grew up here and I never left.
And Eric.
I've been here for 42 years in the same town. But my parents are not from here, and maybe that's what it is. You know, my parents are from Virginia. And I don't know.
Which in the States is the North.
You think so?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
It's the North.
I would consider myself to have a no accent. I don't know. I don't think I have an accent, except for when I say material.
I mean, if you were in California, you would have an accent.
Really?
Yes.
All right. Well, speaking of accents.
How many houses have you lived in your life? Is it like 4?
Yeah, probably. I mean,
wow,
not a lot.
Is that right, though?
Yeah, I think so. So, I mean, my mom and my stepdad still live in the house that I grew up in. Yeah, I was born in the house.
You know how rare that is nowadays?
I don't. I don't. Just trust me, I don't.
All right. I've lived in a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
What's a lot? How many is a lot?
Golly, man.
I mean, take a stab at it.
Well, I'll try to count while you're over there.
Okay, he's counting his fingers. I always get stuck at 6 when I count my fingers. I don't know what it is, but he's still counting. Okay. Well, I'm going to say on the topic of accents.
I mean, 15 to 20 at least.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
I mean, I didn't own them all, obviously, but parents and then moving again and then divorce and then other houses. And I didn't even count college dorms.
I bet you don't even know where you are when you wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom.
Fortunately, I do.
Well, when I was a kid, you know, I lived with my mom for 2 weeks and my stepdad, and then my dad and my stepmom for 2 weeks. Like I did that my whole growing up, right? Every 2 weeks. And sometimes I would wake up in the middle of the night and be like, oh, where am I?
Mm-hmm. I believe it.
Or as one of my kids would have said when they were young, where am me? You walk into the walls a couple times and figure out where you're at. Okay, on the topic of the accent here, we had some special guests. And it was Chris and Jody. I hope I'm saying their names right. And it's Chris and Jody Keel. And they have a joinery business. And I want to say Instagram is where they're mostly at. Oh, I hope I'm right.
I think that's right.
It's called Keel's Joinery. And I didn't actually really know them or anything, but they contacted us and wanted to come out to the job site and, have a look around. And, we just chatted for a while, and it was super fun to talk to them. And especially because their accents. So they're from Scotland.
You want to hear their accents?
Yeah. Is there a thing you can...
I don't have a real answer for you.
Looks like Transformers. That's that Transformer movie?
Yeah.
You would
would never leave the van unlocked on a street, never.
No.
Yeah.
You would never leave a van unlocked.
Jody was saying you have to like lock up everything where they work.
Yeah.
Like even if you're there working.
Yeah.
Till fifth is pretty bad.
There you go. That's
Okay.
I don't know how annoying that was to the
I don't know.
viewers, but
I can't tell if it came through, but in case it didn't come through good, they have a very strong Scottish accent. They do speak English, of course, because that's what they speak over there. But it's so fast. Like I got made fun of because I talk slow. And I was like in the video, I was like, do we really talk slow? They're like, yeah. And I was asking, should I just talk faster? They're like, meh. They're like, we like listening to you slow because we can understand you really easy.
that's good.
So that was fun. Yep, there you go.
Somebody else mentioned that the pace of talking, but go ahead.
There was another comment that said that there's people that like to watch our videos on like 2 times speed so that they can get the content condensed and they don't mind the sound of it maybe being fast. I haven't listened to one fast to see how silly it sounds, but the comment says they slow it down when they're watching 2 times speed. They'll slow it down to 1.75 when I'm talking for some reason. I don't know. I don't know if it's good or bad. Can't tell. Okay. So, hey, it was cool to meet them. I guess check them out on wherever they are, Instagram, or I think that's where they are, Keel's Joinery. And also, Eric said that they are like carpenters or that they build houses, but apparently a joiner in joinery is not the same as a carpenter in the sense that joinery is more detailed, more finer work like cabinetry or nice trim work, building doors or cabinets, and the finer side of things. So anyway, I don't know what they're doing now.
What do you call yourself?
I call myself a contractor a lot of times. But also I just say I just play a carpenter on TV. That's what I tell people I do.
A carpenter, though, not a joiner.
I never have said I'm a joiner. No.
You should start and watch people's faces. Like, what?
They'd be like, okay, I don't know what that is. No, then I'd have to explain it. I'm a contractor.
All right.
I guess. Okay. We are getting, we're getting a lot done by hiring some stuff out. Like I said, the paint, we're hiring painters and we hired out the tile. Normally we do tile because it's normally simple. And we can be like, as soon as it's time to do tile, boom, we're sticking tile. We don't have to call anybody. I don't have to schedule anybody. And our crew is doing it. And so we kind of, have control of it, whatever. It's great. In this case, we had fancy tile, a lot of tile, curbless shower, large format tiles. And what's funny is I found out that this is not even a big tile. Now, to me, is that up there?
Yeah, that,
okay.
That is a big tile to
All
me.
right. Well, look
It's
at
like
us.
a tabletop.
These are 2 foot by 4 foot tiles, and I call them big on the video because I think they're big, and the guys have to use suction cups to hold them and set them, and it seems big. But apparently, these are not big. Relative to what's available out there, there was a lot of people using tiles that are like, here's one, is guys using tiles. Martin May 91 says, Atlas Concord tile makes a really big tile called something. It is 3.2 meters by 1.6 meters. That's not in feet, so I don't know what that is, but
it's big.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
That's double, triple, maybe way more even.
Not to keep dragging on the tile, but did they use a normal tile? How'd they cut the diagonal?
By hand, I think. Freehand.
Okay. It wasn't shown in the video, and the first thing was shown was the tile with a cut in
with
it.
The fit.
With a 45, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a special, I think they call it an envelope style cut because it looks like the back of an envelope.
The floor is going to look cool.
Oh, it's amazing. Like these guys did a top-notch job. So happy that we subbed it out. And it turned out beautiful.
I can't wait to see it.
And I didn't have to stress over it. So, whoo.
Not even a little?
Nope.
All right,
dude.
sweet.
These guys, they had it down. They did great. I checked in on
the
them.
videos, and there may be a comment about that. They didn't sound that confident.
Well,
when Eric asked him, "Have you ever done this before?" Once maybe.
He said he's done it once. Now I couldn't, but dude, I couldn't tell if he was joking or not.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
He did not seem to be worried at all. So
I'd be worried about just carrying those things around.
Well, they are heavy to carry around. We just carried the leftover pieces and put them out of the way just yesterday, or a day before. Anyway, so there's that. Large tiles, we're living in a dream world of small tiles, and there's really big tiles out there. Mm-hmm. How about that? There you go. Okay, here's a great comment. David Dorge, 1559 says, "Why does Jason yell? Why does Jason yell? Because he is yelling almost all the time. And I don't know why. We'll never know why Jason yells, but he gets excited. He's a pumped up guy. He is a motivator, and he's a great guy. And so, hey, I don't know why he yells, but it's pretty fun. I don't hate it. All right, we're getting on down the line here with the comments. I'm going to keep reading them.
Yeah, keep going.
I'm going to keep reading them because I think they're good. And I like doing these videos with the comments. I really do.
Yeah.
Because, if I just read them all by myself and maybe I respond to some, there's so many good ones that I like being able to share them. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Well, let Jaime talk.
Hey. Okay, here's a comment from Wizzy20009. You need to try miter bond for your miters. Miter bond. I don't know what miter bond is. So, Brett, your computer already closed down. Or do you want me to open it up and find out what is miter bond?
You can move on if you want.
Okay. Whatever you do, don't stop the recording there on your computer.
It's so miter bond is a 2-part rapid setting adhesive system used for quickly and strongly bonding a wide variety of materials.
Okay. So it sounds like epoxy-ish stuff.
Yeah, it's a...
Okay.
I mean, I don't know that it's obviously 2 parts, so it's at least put on like epoxy.
All right.
It's got an agent, in a...
Mm-hmm. All right. It's going to require some more looking into miter bond to find out what that is. But at any rate, it sounds like a good thing. We're using a domino tool to connect the joints on these miters. And I'm gonna pause up right here for a minute because this is a good spot to bring it in. Okay, we're doing flat square edge trim. We call it S4S. That means square on 4 sides. If you go to order trim, it's flat. It's finger jointed material, which means it's not made from one solid board. It's made from short pieces that get, a special joint put on them. And okay, there's the domino tool that we're using. And Jason is having a problem that he had not used a domino tool before, and he was having an issue with getting the slots that it makes perfectly the same from board to board to board, so that when you stick them together, they line up perfectly. And anyway, I can't go into all. See, look at him doing the thing. Is that on right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was very like, if you didn't think about that ahead of time, and I think they had already done like 8 doors at this point.
Well, it matters whether you do it all from the same face, like the show face, or the backside. And there was a shot right at the very beginning when you pulled that up. I don't know if it was on or not either, but where he had the base of the tool sitting on the workbench table. Mm-hmm. And that was actually the problem, is that the body of the tool needed to hang down below the thickness of the trim, which is 3/4. There it is. And see how the tool is on the table, but it's also, there's a little gap on the trim.
It's not on the board.
That's the problem he had. He didn't realize that you need to hang the board off the table because of the depth setting, and allow that top base plate to engage on the surface. And so that's the problem he had. He could not figure out, because it seemed just right, but it was just wrong. So
could you adjust it so that when it is sitting on the table, it's also set to the right depth? That it hits the door? Hits the trim?
Yes, it is possible, but there may be very slight variations in the thickness of the material.
Sure.
And that would throw
decrease the variables.
It would, yeah, exactly. So hang it off, put that top fence on the face. Every face will line up with every other face, no matter what. And if you do have a variation in thickness, it throws the difference to the back, which is great because nobody sees the back, no matter.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to answer.
That's a fest tool. Right.
It is a
That's the
Festool
brand.
domino, and I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to a question that you sent me the other day to answer here, and this is from let's see, Chris OTT2. Two questions: what is a tool or piece of equipment you regret buying, and what is a piece of equipment that you regret not buying sooner? And I'm going to use the domino as my answer for the one that I wish I would have bought sooner, because it's such a diverse tool, and it can allow you to do really good, strong, accurate joinery. Is it joinery? Now I'm confused because we got Keel's joinery. There's no T in joinery. It's a joint, but if it's the E of doing it, you just drop the T. I don't know. I didn't do great in English, but I did pretty good in math. Okay, so the domino tool, that's the tool I wish I would have bought sooner because I use it so much and it's amazing. It is, in my opinion, superior to a biscuit joiner, but it is like a biscuit joiner in some ways, and it looks like a biscuit joiner, but it's better. All right, so there's that. The one that I regret buying, sort of, I'm going to just say the Festool track saw. And then that may be a little bit controversial because it is a great tool and it's an expensive tool, but I use it so little that I don't know if I could justify the cost of it. And it's a very fine tool for fine woodworking, but it's maybe not a construction tool as much as a fine woodworking tool. And I do more construction than fine woodworking, so I don't use it as frequently. I'm going to share a great application for it, though, that was good. Is I had to do a giant miter on a bar, and it was a thick, like a 2-inch thick wood slab. We did one for you too. 3, I did 3 for you, but in a house we did one, and it's excellent for that. You can take it on site, make a pretty good long cut anywhere you want, any angle, and get a pretty good cut.
Yeah.
So there you go.
It's joinery.
Jointery. That's not a thing.
No, you would just say, I'm making a joint. Or
I'm jointing. Yeah. Mm.
I don't know that jointery is like, it's not the act of jointing. I'm making it. Doesn't exist.
That's why I like math, because it makes sense.
Fair enough.
I'm sure I've said that
right,
incorrectly.
So the Festool is both the best and wish you had gotten sooner, and the most money you've spent on a tool you use the least.
Yep. And I'm gonna do a plus
and
one.
Festool is probably just the brand. I'm not saying that it's because it's a Festool.
Oh,
They're both great tools.
Sure.
It's just.
Oh yeah, and lots of people make a track saw, but I do not think a lot of people make a domino-like tool, and it may be a patent deal. Like, I don't know of any other brands that make a domino tool, so maybe they really got the market cornered on that thing. And they make like 2 or 3 different sizes of the domino tool. You can do big, heavy doors without doing fancy joinery. See how I used it right? You can just use the domino tool. It's it's a mortising machine that uses a floating tenon, where the domino is the tenon for both sides.
I mean, it's the same as a biscuit. It's just a different thing going in, right?
Yeah,
it's a different joint.
Somebody
we're
said,
going down a rabbit hole now, boy.
No, I know. Somebody said, I wish I could turn this biscuit the other way. And somebody figured it out. And the way it works is fantastic. I mean, the way that it actually mechanically does it. Yeah, it goes back. It's fun to watch, actually. And it is fun to operate. I actually really like operating the tool. The guys, pretty much I showed them how to do it, and then they're doing all of these, but I wished I could do it just because I like flicking the switch on that thing and, watching it work. It is fun.
And it's strong.
It makes a great joint.
And fast. It's a super efficient way to get a really strong joint.
It is. I think what I was thinking of a little tiny short video that we could do where we test out like 3 different types of joints for a joint just like this. One would be the domino. One would be pocket screws. And another would be biscuit joiner. So we could make, and maybe one more. We could come up with another one. And make little sample pieces of a miter for a piece of trim that you would commonly see in a house, and compare, how hard it is to do and how strong it is and which one is better for your application. Because the best solution may not always be the best solution, because it may be too time consuming or maybe too difficult, or the job may not call for that degree of a, thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. There you go. Oh, I was going to add one. What the one is, another tool that I want to buy is a Festool brand sander, like a palm sander, we would call it.
Sure, because
like
you already have the vacuum.
An orbital. Well, I don't have a Festool vacuum.
Oh,
I couldn't part with the dollars that it would cost to get the Festool brand vacuum, and I'm sure they are amazing. And I know they are because Arlo has one, and he raves about it. And he has the sander, and he tells me it's amazing, and that I should quit buying the ones that I am currently buying, and that I should get a Festool sander. So I'm tempted to do that. The next time I need the next job that I need to do that requires some serious sanding, okay, I probably will go check out the Festool sanders. So I don't know if anybody listening has a Festool and you've also used, DeWalt or Makita or whatever other brands of sanders are common for the random orbital sander. Yeah, there's one. Okay, are you pulling that up now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
that's a 6-inch.
Okay, a 6-inch sander, and that is a powered one. That is not a battery one. That's a plug into the wall type. $740 American dollars. So that is a lot of money, and there's a good reason why I don't have one. There's 740 reasons right there why I don't.
That's a lot.
I don't have one right now, and you need to be making money with a sander like this, I would say, to justify the purchase, because you're not just going to buy that for fun and spend that much money and then buy all the sandpaper you need. You're going to spend $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so what, I don't know. Like, for example, if I need to refinish one of our floors in one of our rental houses, but I don't want to rent a big floor sander. And I think one of the good things about the Festool brand is that they do a good job with the dust extraction. If you're in a finished house, you don't want to be clouding the whole place up in dust. But if I need to do a super light sanding, I bet you I could do it with a 6-inch sander on a small house, sand the floors lightly, and recoat. That's the application I have in mind.
Okay.
So there you go. Hey, can I borrow $1,000?
I mean, if I don't have to pay somebody else to come in and sand the floors.
That's probably it. I'm going to call that a yes.
Is it before or after another riding lawnmower?
Oh, gosh, dude. We need to buy a mower so bad.
Yeah, next season.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. All right. I missed all this on the job site. And sometimes it's fun to watch the video back and be like, dude, how did I miss all that? So apparently Jason is nailing trim in and having some problems with his nail gun. So there's 100 comments about, hey, you guys are holding the 18 gauge nailer 90 degrees off of where you should, because the nails tend to bend out because they have double chamfered edge on one way. Turn the gun 90 degrees, Jason. They will never blow out. So in addition to that, he had a door that was closed and he was nailing the face trim on it, and one of the nails shanked out the side and nailed the door shut. And that has happened to me multiple times. And so I don't blame him. But I tell him, don't beat yourself up. That's my job. But it's pretty funny. So Jason got a lot of airtime, and you know what? Eric didn't cut him off. He just let him talk. Dude, he just let him go on and on.
Yeah, but it's more because, this is my own interpretation, is he's just making fun of himself. And you're actually, long-winded and trying to describe something that's very technical. And I'm just kidding.
Great.
I think it is hilarious. I cannot believe that and I love Jason to death, and I would do the same thing. But he literally said, don't do this. And then if it wasn't the same day, it was the next day, did it.
I think it was 30 seconds later.
That's so great, dude.
Now,
I'm not saying I wouldn't do the same thing, but golly, that was funny.
I'm gonna spare everybody by not talking for 10 minutes on this topic, okay?
You're not sparing me, man. I got all day.
You got all day?
Yeah.
Ben said to keep this thing under 2 hours.
I don't know how long we're at, so it doesn't matter.
No, we don't even know.
Sorry, Ben. I don't know how to watch the clock. Oh, 1 hour and 4 minutes.
It's getting
getting close.
It's getting there. Okay. I'm gonna say what I think about this. Finish nails, like 16 gauge nails in a nail gun, and also the 18 gauge nails have a similar design in the sense that they're square, but they're actually like rectangular shape.
Mm-hmm.
The actual length through the length of a nail, it's rectangular. Okay, and it's the way that they're made into the clips that the little, what do you call it? A clip? A clip of nails that you grab that's, whatever it is, 50 nails that are glued together. And they are glued together, by the way, with a clear glue. And that holds the clip together. And it also activates that glue when you drive the nail. It gets hot from friction, and that nail gets glued to the wood fibers when it stops. Those little finish nails hold, I'm going to say, really well for their size because they literally are bonded to the surface, even though they have no mechanical bond so much, like a ring shank nail, I would consider. That's called a deformed fastener. That's just simply not smooth. Okay, well, they wouldn't go in very easily if they were a ring shanked finish nail. So they use the glue, and that's great. I love that. So they're rectangular, and they have what is, I think, called in the video or maybe in the comments, a chisel point. So they do have a little beveled. I wish we could just look at one under a microscope because that's what I would do.
I mean, we can.
I have a microscope just for looking at stuff like this. It's a cheap one. I wish I had a good microscope. Do you have one?
No.
You need to find me one. I need a good microscope.
Let's go to the library.
Yep.
Or high school.
And, this sounds really like nitty gritty. And why does it even matter?
Even what you've already just said, I had no clue.
Okay.
I never even thought, how are these? I mean, I assumed it was glue, but why are they all stuck together? And why are they so hard to pull apart?
Yeah.
Like if you just need one nail?
It took some nail engineer guy probably 10 years to design the current nail clip.
I hope he got a patent on it.
Yeah. So, okay. So we're not there yet. Okay. So this thing has a chisel end on it, a sharpened end, if you will, so that it goes through the wood easily. And since the nail is not square, the tendency of a nail to bend when it goes in wood and it's meeting resistance to going straight. And what is that resistance? Well, it's the grain in the wood probably that's going to make it want to shoot off one way or another. Okay, so if you're nailing through a wood that's hard, like a yellow pine that has really strong and hard grain rings in it, those nails, and the smaller they get, the more prone they are to following the grain. Okay, it's going to bend to the side. We'll just call it to the side. If you're holding the gun, the side is the left and the right, and the top and the bottom would be, above or below the handle. Because of the shape of them, the way they're built in the clips, and they are rectangular in a certain direction, and the way that the chisel point is put on it in that direction, it's likely to bend to the left or the right, not to go up or to go down. Okay, so if there's a vertical piece of trim, and you're going to shoot the edge of it this way, it is prone to going left or right, based on the design of the nail, which if it goes one way, normally you're fine, and if it goes the other way, you're out of luck.
You're toast.
We call that a shank. And it may matter, and it may not matter. For example, if it's painted trim and you putty that hole and you break the nail off, who cares? If it's
breaking the nails off isn't easy either.
Well,
you got to do it in a certain direction.
That's
a whole another thing. But go ahead.
It is. Well, what if it's just finished wood trim and there's no caulk and there's no filler, and then you shank a nail out? You literally might trash a whole casing, and you got to figure out a way to make it look like it never happened. Something that I do when I get an opportunity is I actually orient the board so that the grain would direct the nail in a direction where it can't pop out. Not just in the piece you're firing into even, but the next piece, the edge of the other piece. And so this gets into some serious planning, but it becomes second nature once you do it 1,000 times, right? So you would orient the grain rings to always direct the nail to pop out in the backside of a piece of trim.
Now you're a joiner.
Maybe we're talking joinery here. Some pretty fine stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Now here's the trick though.
So go ahead.
No, you go ahead there.
No, I want you to tell the trick first.
Okay. Well, here's a problem. It's more of a problem than a trick. When you're using primed, finger jointed material, you cannot see the grain. And it's made of a 16-foot stick of it might have 16 pieces of material combined to make that one board. Mm-hmm. And you can't see where the grain is, or if there's knots. If they use board pieces that have knots in them, you can't see them. So you're just shooting blind into whatever. It's a roll of the dice, 100%. So you can't do any planing of your nail shooting like I'm talking about when you're using primed.
Yeah.
And this stuff is heavily primed. It even has like a gypsum, probably sanded surface that's like thick, like a shell. All right.
But everybody just said turn it 90 degrees.
Turn it 90 degrees. Now, the problem with that is that
Give me the visual.
Okay, if we're nailing a vertical trim piece and we've got a door casing, holding the gun like this would be normal. They're saying turn it 90 degrees this way or that way. Well, I'm going to just say it's not highly practical. And part of the problem is that the way that the nail comes out and the little safety stop that you have to engage, the little bumper on the front, and seeing your nail placement and getting a certain distance from the edge, like a 1/4 inch or 3/8 would be, say a 1/4. It's very difficult sideways, I think. For me, it is. Maybe my guns are harder to shoot. I'd be prone to slipping and that 1/4 inch I'm trying to maintain then becomes difficult to get it accurately. And when you're in the rhythm of doing it a bunch, holding the gun vertically is easier, I think.
Well, it's a tall door.
Yeah.
So,
and I would angle the gun a certain way depending on where I think I want that nail to go. And I think it's harder to angle it a certain way I want holding it sideways. So am I going to start turning the gun 90 degrees? Probably not. Are my nails still going to shank out some? Yep.
Okay, pass load. Figure out a way to take a nail, shoot it in, spin it 90 while it's going into the board from a vertical position.
There you go. Well, old timers didn't have this problem.
That's because they didn't have finished nail guns.
They didn't have nail guns. They would nail them by hand. I don't know if they would pre-drill their first piece. Probably not, but they used good soft material, like a lot of times fir. Douglas fir was kind of the material for trim, whether it was painted or not. And it was very consistent grain, super tight grain, soft enough material. And the edge of the jamb, the part where the hinges are attached to on a door, that board used to be thicker. They used to use 7/8 thick material was the standard, or maybe even an inch. And now we're using 3/4 or even less. And they might even be a 1/16 less than 3/4. And you're trying to overlap only maybe a 1/2 inch overlap to leave a 1/4 inch reveal and shoot through that at a perfect angle that doesn't pop out. We're asking for a very difficult shot here. So that's why nails are shooting out. Dude, if it was up to me, I would use a much thicker inner jam piece. That would give you more overlap and more room to shoot and less chance of nails shanking out, easier shot. It's not up to me all the time, though.
Nope.
But in the shop, me and you were building that door. We did build the door. It's still there.
It is.
I checked on it this morning. And we're going to actually hang that door and drill the hole for the hardware and the hinges and all that. And we're going to install that door. And I'm going to teach people how I would do it in a remodel scenario, because we do a lot of new construction, pre-hung doors. And I'm going to show this other method that I like. And maybe we'll put us a nice thick jam board in there.
We should go over, we should do a video on like finished grade nail guns too. Not just the gauge, but also wire some at an angle, why do they shoot straight, all that.
Sure.
We don't have time. Like that's a whole separate video. But if you laid out all your nail guns,
Yep.
and gave them all, they all serve a purpose. But to me, and I'm not, a novice carpenter. I'm not a joiner by any means, but I wouldn't necessarily think like, well, why am I going to grab an angle, 16 gauge finished nail gun versus a straight 18 gauge, other than just the size of the nail. That's the only thing I'm going to be thinking about, but I'm sure there's a lot more to it. So that'd be a cool little episode.
Well, of course. And this is, I love being able to share these things. This is like way deeper than anybody probably cares about a lot of these things, but that's why we're doing it. If you're a DIYer, you're not going to get to this level of thinking about all these things on your own in a short period of time. It's only over 25 years of doing this, you begin to notice the nuance of things that, cause problems, and try to always improve and make it easier, make your job easier. We should probably wrap it up because we're getting a little long-winded.
Sounds good.
And so I want to wrap it up, but I'm going to read this one last comment from Derek Sperling. I really don't get why European doors are not used in the U.S. It's so much faster and easier to assemble and install. I don't know what is with these European doors. I don't know what they look like. I've never heard of a European door versus an American door. I don't know what that means, but now I am curious, and it'll give me something to look forward to researching between now and the next episode. And maybe there's something we're missing out on here.
Sounds like we are to me.
So they're seeing us struggle, and they're saying, maybe I'll find out, and maybe I'll tell you what I learned next time.
Yeah, sounds good.
Got any more closing thoughts here?
I don't. I mean, I think that was fun. And I know we didn't get to probably all the comments, but
no, we didn't.
We went down a couple little rabbit holes, but they were things that I think were important to you to share.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I had a great time. So thanks again to everybody who has commented and left us great things to talk about. And that's how we generate content for this channel. And as long as other ways are available, we'll make videos about all kinds of things. But we love answering comments, and it generates just as much question as it does answer. So I think that's pretty cool. So, hey, be curious like me. And if you don't know, just ask.